Renee, how you doing? Go, go, little boy. I'm recording. Go. Oh, good. I'm good. I say go. And I mean it. Didn't I tell you get out of here? Hey, Shorty C. How y'all doing? No, Onyx. So what's going on today? Getting good. No, good, 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 good. Just busy, busy out there in the streets. I did watch Jay Wilson trying to deal with Tommy Sotomayor. I can't stand him. Yeah, yeah. I watched him when I first was coming on, before I got on YouTube, and I, I couldn't stand. I can't stand that guy because I don't understand how you can hate black women that much. Um, and it's really, he hate black women, but he also hate black people, period. Because he talks about, that's why I don't get him, because it's not like he have nothing but those men as subscribers. He have a lot of, most of his subscribers are men. And yeah, it would be, he would, because he's talking about black women like dogs, like the animals. But he also talk about black men. So I don't know what's his function. You either, hate black women, but then sometimes you hate black men. I don't get it. And the first time I heard one of his videos, I can't even say I was appalled. I was in shock. In shock. I don't think I ever thought about a black man talking about black women in that manner. It was disgusting. And my friend, she's older. I think she's probably like 70 something. One I always go walking at the park. I let her hear one of his videos. She felt the same way. She was shocked. I said, I don't believe it. I don't know. I guess I never thought about that somebody could hate his own people that much, to calling them B's and H's or W's and calling gay people the F word and D word and whatever else they use. It sounds like a broken record, but he's broken. That's all I can say. He's broken. He's something is wrong with him. Mm, unbelievable to hear black guy talk about women like that, black women like that. It's crazy because I mean his kids by black women. Um, he's dated I think some one or two white women. One of them was a German female, but he date black women. But so I don't understand. There he is. He's trash. Yeah. And when he goes out, he's gone now like with black women. So something ain't right. You like black women to date. You like to date black women, but you don't like black women to the point that you would call them all those disgusting names. Thank you. I appreciate it. How you doing today? Good. Yeah, so he's a character. I had to stop watching him. He did something to my spirit where he talks about what he call them hair hooded hooligans. So nice. Oh well, thank you. I appreciate it. I normally don't even have this much hair. It's usually about that long. But I just haven't gone to the barber shop. Sometimes in the wintertime, I let it grow out like this. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't understand him. Yeah, yes. Uh, yeah, you got your mother's black, your dad is part black. You got family. Your family is black. Your daughters is black. Your baby's mamas are black. Something ain't right with that. Calling them hair hooded hooligans or something. He called women that wear the wigs or braids or whatever. I think he's got some issues. Everybody say he got mommy issues, and that may be right. That may be right. Hey, Big Town. It's got to be something. You hate women that much, black women that much, and your mother's black. So, do you hate your mother? Do you hate your daughters? Because I think you got 2 daughters and a son. What? They know he talked that way. What's his name? What that didn't, that's not what started it. Well, okay. What started it was they say it was Lady Snoop. She went and got him, or probably showed him videos and stuff of 5A. Is that correct? Somebody tell me. And she called herself getting him to help her with 5A to get back at 5A. Is that how it went? Did 5A put his name in her title? Yeah, see, that's what, if Snoop called herself going to get, what's his name? What is his name? I can't think of. What is his name? I just got this talking about it, and I can't even remember. Somebody. What is his? Oh my goodness. Oh, Tommy, I'm trying to get y'all to help me. I couldn't remember his name. I was going to talk about him, and I just went blank. Couldn't think of his name. Um, yeah, if she called herself mad at everybody, mad at Lick You, and I guess she was going to, and Bobby had did whatever she had did to her. They said she took the probably videos to let Tommy see it. Yeah, and something about Phi Baby put Tommy's name in her title. Is that right? I don't want to say the wrong thing. And then that's how Tommy. Is that how Tommy got in the picture? Got in all this by her. Excuse me, by her trying to get him to save her or help her out. But yeah, I mean, people know that Tommy's like that. But if Lady Snoop brought him into it, then she's wrong. She should have fought her own battle, which was the best way to do it was the way she was. Well, I thought yesterday she was just leaving and that was going to be it. She was uh, got her another, I guess, sector or whatever. But no, I don't know what. And some people know him, some people don't. I know him, and most people know him. Most women know him too, by his nasty behavior toward black women. Hey, Aussie, how you doing? Good day. How you doing? Let's see now. Some them and talked to him in her chat yesterday. Oh, okay. Well, good. Glad you're doing good. I think Leak you had something to do with it also. Probably did because she was mad yesterday. She was not a happy camper. Hey, Wrench. Oh, Wrench, I forgot what I was supposed to be doing. You're going to have to use your Love Lake in here. She's supposed to be reminding me. You have to use one of your other ones until I get you undone. Yeah, so, yeah, he's a nasty. He's just and he called a black woman BT 2000, BT 5900, like they robots, pieces of equipment. Yeah, he's a nasty. He's a real nasty guy, and his subscribers are too. Because if they and it's sad to say because it was women. He's got some women that be in his chat, saying that same stuff, agreeing with him. Hey, Miss TR, how you doing? Hello, Misfits and Dreamers, how you doing? From upstate New York, 14 degrees. Oh my goodness, that's cold and snowing. Whew. Well, sorry for you. Yeah, that's too cold for me. 14 degrees. Oh, man. We're glad to see you. Glad to have you. Yeah. Well, it's good. Good day. Yeah, I know. 14 degrees. Ooh. Yeah. Hey, Nat Cooking Channel. How you doing? How are you? Windshield Zoo. Y'all can have that. But I can't do it. I stay in Texas. I have to stay in Texas. That's too cold for me. I wouldn't be able to make it. Shoot. Yeah, so I don't know. And then they want to. Okay, but y'all tell me, who think that Jay Wilson doxed Tommy? Do y'all believe that he doxed Tommy? 3 to 6 inches of snow, 5 miles per hour. I'm so sorry for y'all. Oh my goodness. It's in the 20s here. Dang. Y'all can have that. We not even used to that. We haven't even had any snow. I'm gonna let y'all build the snowman. It's too cold for me. I worked in Philadelphia for 2 years. I know it. And I couldn't take it no more. I had on so many clothes, it was unbelievable. If somebody would have pushed me, I wouldn't have been able to get back up. I had on insulated coveralls. I had long johns, about 2 pair of long johns, top and bottom. Had and then after all that, I had on another pair of overalls. I was so when it started to get a little warm after a while, I started shedding those clothes, and people was like, "Oh, you look like that for real." Yeah, y'all go ahead and network it. Get your subscribers. We're just gonna be chit chatting while y'all doing that. What did you say, B-Town? In these years, I've never known his real name. Yeah, let's see, that's why I said, y'all tell me who thinks that Jay Wilson doxed him. What? In a space heater in the mouth. I have a heater in my room, and it's not that cold. I can't stand the cold at all. I had the heater on, and then have me a little space heater in my bedroom. Someone who was in chat, Doc says child gave her a name, tried to make fun of his daughter. Okay, see, that's the other part. They want to say that what?
You filled up.
Okay. Tell one them boys to get it up for me. The thing house. Yes, we have ghosts. Them ghosts ought to be cold. Yeah. I see why you got the 2 or 3 comforters. I got 2 on mine. Okay, yeah, y'all hug and go right ahead and hug. But somebody put up under Jay Wilson's, it was like 3 or 4 ladies that had wrote up under his video saying that, all of them basically were saying that he was wrong.
It's on the floor.
Okay, tell Jay, get some tissue. Say, when are you? When am I what? Did I miss something? And then bring it and put it in there. Come on. So, you say, when am I? what's that? Oh, I'm in Texas. Yeah, Texas. Tommy's such a big jerk. She really won. I mean, that's what I was gonna say when I was the ladies was saying, had wrote up under his video, and there's 3 or 4 of them. They basically were saying that Jay Wilson was wrong and that he doxed Tommy, and I wrote up under there. I was like, no doxing was committed. Okay, Tommy, and this had been years ago when I first seen Tommy had was getting into it with other guys, and his real name, they gave out his real name. He said his real name because they doxed somebody else, doxed him years ago. So he his name has been out there. His name, about his child support, because he had owed like $35,000 in child support at one time. That's public information. So he didn't dox. He didn't dox him. Now those ladies, I don't know how long they've been knowing him. Well, if they followed him, if they did, they would know that information has already been out there. And then so I said, it's public information. He didn't know. One, he didn't, it was already out there. It's public information. And then they said somebody, they doxed, put his daughter's name out there. I said, well, who did it? Jay Wilson didn't do it. I was in there. And then they say, well, he's responsible. No, he's not. You can't hold him liable for somebody else's actions. They grown. And he probably didn't even see it because I didn't see it. And then I told him, I said, like, okay, it's been like 2 years that these people have been fighting and arguing and doxing each other, and no one has gone to jail over doxing. So evidently, no one has gotten in trouble with doxing from YouTube or Google, or local law enforcement, or federal law enforcement. So it can't be that much of that important of a crime, because no one has taken anybody serious, and all these people that has been doxing each other, and nobody have gone to jail, gotten in trouble in any way from doxing people. So, but the fact is, he did not dox it. All that information was public information. Morally, is it wrong to dox people? Sure it is. Yeah, sure it is. But look at all the people that have doxed each other. Put their names, the address, phone numbers, children's pictures, dead people's pictures, on and on and on. And all these people that supposedly have filed something about doxing, by people doxing them, what has happened? Nothing. So, no. And you can't blame Jay Wilson if somebody else put one of his kids' name in the chat. But he had his kids on camera. Yeah, he had his kids on camera, his daughters. Yeah. Yeah. So that would be a failed debate about them saying that he doxed Tommy. And then I was looking at Snoop, and she was just going on, and she was just tore up behind it, and just saying, I can't believe you're supposed to be a pastor. You're supposed to be a pastor. I can't believe you doxed that man. I can't believe you did that to him. And I'm thinking to myself, get a grip. He did not dox that man. And of all people, she should know, unless these people don't know what doxing is. Okay, because it's been out there. What was that guy's name? What was it? It was something nuts. He stalked Tommy. Um, he put Tommy's kid's name in chat. He came to Arizona where he lived. I mean, he basically like stopped him. Now it may be Tommy's fault because Tommy get on there and talk all crazy and stuff, but he didn't hold back on nothing. So if anybody doxed, and then him and Tyreek was always into it, and his real name was put out. So they can't say that Jay Wilson doxed him just because he said his real name. That ain't no secret. Well, they gave his daughter name. He in the library got his daughter. He went and got her. Where was she? Talking about in his house? It probably was one of Tommy's people that came in and put that child's, if it's true, probably was one of his people that put that child's name in the chat. If it actually happened. Let's put his lovely home. Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. And he's always talking about where he live in Arizona and like he live in this great big mansion or something. Yeah. I know that guy was I think they were calling him nutcase, but he was stalking him so bad. Tommy went down and bought him a bulletproof vest and was wearing a bulletproof vest in his house. Now, when you have to do that, you've been doing something to people that will make somebody stalk you like that. When you got to go and purchase a bulletproof vest and walking around inside your house with it on. Mm-hmm. He always put his yeah. Let me see. Let's see. He always showing people where he lived. Yeah. He had they dropped dead to home. Yeah, he got a nice house. We offered Jay Wilson to come. Man said he had to go to work, but came back with his life history. Well, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do if you're going to beef with somebody. If you're going to beef with somebody or debate with somebody, you got to know who you're doing it with. You can't go there and not have a clue who this man is, because Jay Wilson didn't know who he was. I think he said he had never heard of him. And so, yeah, you got to go do your research and then you come back. Because he wasn't gone long. I wouldn't have done it either. And like Jay Wilson said, no, you're going to have to come to my platform. You got a big platform. I'm not going to give you that money. Let you have the money. Come to my platform. And I do believe that Tommy is a little hesitant. He ain't rah like he used to be with people. Because as I sit there and stream Jay Wilson's live, and listening to Jay Wilson, I think that backed him up a little bit. He's not used to um, go go at it with a debate with somebody like Jay Wilson. Because see, our Tommy is doing all that screaming and hollering and talking loud and cursing. Jay Wilson don't do that. hmm You know, Jay Wilson ain't gonna get. He's gonna stay calm. hmm I see that. What's the name? Babe has at 10 o'clock. I think she's doing her fact check Friday, and the title it has Tommy Sotomayor in it, so might be pretty good. It's I hit the set timer. Yes, at 10 o'clock, and I think she's on my time. So I'm wondering, because let me tell you, um, did she go? Did she go to his platform at one time? It, because I don't watch her videos and nothing. When I did I looked at Tommy's video, and it seemed, I don't know, it seemed to me that maybe she had came to his platform, or maybe he came to hers. I'm not sure, but I know he kept trying to get her, telling her she could come, and she never showed up. But that was when he had the pictures of her. I said, "Ooh, oh my goodness, why?" He was just dogging it out, but that's what he did to black women. I mean, and no, it's not right. And the stuff that he be saying, you'd be like, how you have daughters? Do you feel like that same way with your daughters? It's strange. So I don't know. I wonder what Fabe has to say. Yeah, I gave you your daughter. Yeah, Nicole. Yeah. So I'm wondering, is he gonna drop down in her chat when she go live? Let's see what I missing. Phone gets a little funky when it's cold. Oh, I bet it do, Misfit. That's too cold. If I was a phone, I'd be acting funky too. See, he been to prison. Yeah, behind on child support. His government name. Yeah, all that is public information. hmm Even he's got a son. His son, by now he may be 20, maybe in his 30s or older, late 20s, something like that. He may probably be in his 30s by now, but he had a son. The boy looked just like him, and he never have taken care of it. And I think the boy had asked him for something. He called him online, and Tommy didn't give a thing about that boy. So the boy, he basically just said, forget you. Look just like the boy. Look just like Tommy. Uh-oh. Well, yes, he does. Why wouldn't he have a right to make a video with Tommy's name in it? Tommy, you're just talking about him. And Tommy wanted to debate with him. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. But I don't see Tommy running over there either. Tommy is not used to dealing with people like Jay Wilson. All right, Misfits, you have a good night. If you haven't gone already. That was the woman for the beef section. That was running there now. His mod should have deleted it. We're talking about Jay Wilson's mod. He always put this. Yeah. So they gave John the name. He ended up. Okay. Tommy is pumped. The video about Tommy arguing with the woman. Oh yeah, that was in Dallas. He came down here, and he had a wreck with a lady, and he cussed that woman out and called that woman all kinds of names. And he was and then when the police showed up, then he thought he would be able to overtalk the police, and overtalk the woman and tell the police what he wanted to tell. But it didn't quite work out that way. But yeah, he talked to that woman so bad. It was unbelievable. Dealing with Tommy, that's another type of person than what these people are used to. Yeah, I don't ever want to get used to somebody like him. He can't say nothing to me. He would be one of those type guys that I would put some knots on his head with my billy club. Get his butt tased, because he is just nasty. YouTube grabbed that. Yes, yeah. What they grab? What did YouTube grab? I guess school. Where? Oh, okay. Yeah, you probably had to go pick up from school. Snoop put Tracy out. Her chat. Oh, I heard her say that. Did she put Tracy out of her chat? I was like, what? Hey, chick a stick. How you doing? You in the bushes? Don't be in the bushes. Stay on in here. Yeah, I heard her say she put Tracy out. I was like, oh my goodness. Because Lady Snoop, she got pissed off and said, Pastor shouldn't have he had no business doxing that man. I can't believe he did that. And I'm going like, Snoop, that is not doxing. And then when I seen those ladies writing that stuff on Jay Wilson's video, I thought, what is wrong with them? Do they not know what doxing is? I could see if all his stuff was private, the information that Jay Wilson said, and all he did was say his real name, which when he researched it, it's gonna come up with child support issues, because God knows we knew he had child support issues some years back when I first started watching, and because I think he went to jail for it, and then just putting his name in there and researching it pull him up. So yeah, it's one doxing. But like I said, if doxing was so important, It's been 2 years that these people in this sector has been doxing each other and doing all the crazy mess that they do to each other. And nobody have had any issues civilly or criminally. You know, the local police, the federal police, none of that. Then that should tell you. Even if Jay Wilson did dox him, which he didn't, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What do you expect to be done if for the last 2 years these people have been doing all kinds of stuff to each other, doxing, putting their name, their phone number, their address, the kid's name, their wife's name, the family pictures. You two don't care. They ain't cared. Local police ain't cared. Federal police ain't cared. Ain't no use. There's no use in thinking that you can go, you can get some help. Or somebody gonna come kick somebody's door down because they doxed, because they said his real name. And that ain't gonna happen. But yeah, he talks about people. He talks about women so bad. It's unbelievable. Chick a stick. You went back to his bushes already? I never put Tommy name in my title. Why? Well, I mean, Jay Wilson ain't scared of Tommy's just because he got more subscribers than him. I mean, if he out calling, putting Jay Wilson name, I don't know how he got hold to Jay Wilson's name, but since they said Lady Snoop, probably had something to do with it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Did you go look at go look at what's her name? Sincerely Nadia. Her candles. I mean, not candles. Soap. I was looking at one night and was looking how they make the soap. Quite interesting. Mm-hmm. Let me find y'all the story. There's a lady that I was chatting with. She said cancer ran in her family, and when she said it run in her family, she mean it run in her family. She said she was cancer survivor for 10 years. Her oldest sister, I can't remember the kind that she had. Her brother, her niece, it was. When she said it ran in her family, it ran in her whole family. I thought, my goodness. So, I told her if she wanted we was gonna do the panel. If she wanted to, come on, let me know, cause she's She got a whole lot of cancer in her family. Whew. I had never heard of somebody have so much cancer in one family. Did I read all the ones? Oh no, I didn't. Tony looks at it as why should I come to a smaller platform to have a debate? Well, he may be, but smaller content. To me, I don't. It don't make a difference to me how many subscribers you got. If you think you can out debate somebody, hey, the way he used to do everybody else, no, but you that good. You think you can? Come on over here. You're not gonna make all the money. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find a good one. They need to leave it out of stuff. No, she chicken out. Who chicken out? Who you talking about, Hester? Who you say chicken out? Chat. She called him ugly and okay. Well, he drug her. He drug her. Call people black. What is wrong with her? Does she not know that she's dark skinned? Bitch. When last time she looked in the mirror? She's. I'm black. We all are black. But see, it's the way you use that word, black. And she used it in a negative, nasty way. Yeah, fat, black, so-and-so. Yeah, she used it like that. But does she realize that she's dark-skinned? Because that's what she's talking about. She's dark-skinned. Poor thing. Maybe she haven't looked in the mirror in a while. But yeah, honey, you black. You dark-skinned. Not a suntan she had. No, it's not no suntan. Baby, you are dark-skinned. Yes, ma'am. I don't care how much makeup you take on. You still dark-skinned. And I don't know nothing about no makeup. But I do know enough that I can say your makeup is not matching your skin color. It's too light for being a dark-skinned woman. Now, that's 2 pennies worth. That's all I can give you because I don't know nothing else about no makeup. Cloud chasing. But, he need to stop. So you saw that. He wouldn't talk to him. And like that. Yeah. He threatened that woman with the gun too. Yeah. He's a character. He's not a good guy. He got blocked the other day, I think he got blocked from where? 5A. You gonna talk down to me? That's why I said he wasn't sure. His name in the title. Oh, He'll talk mess to you on the computer. That's why he went to, was it DC? And some guy walked up and knocked him out. See, you can't. See, that's why you can't do that. You cannot behave like that because you're on that computer and on the computer screen talking all that rah rah, and then you go into different states, and people gonna recognize you, even when you may not recognize them. More than likely, you're not gonna recognize them, but they gonna recognize you because they see you all the time. He walked up to it and punched her out of him. So see, he talk that stuff on a computer, but he ain't all that. Yeah. Tommy can't debate. Not no real debate. He used to all that screaming and yelling that he does. And cursing. He sure should not be behind on his child support. So he didn't know, so they started with him. Or that's why they said that was Lady Snoop is the one that brought him over here because she wanted to get back at 5'8". I don't think nobody was cloud chasing. Lady Snoop brought him over. Oh shit, that name. Oh yeah, you know Nicole was gonna. Nicole was gonna do it. Oh yeah, Tracy was in there. My doctor, I seen her. You are one of them. Oh, nobody has pursued it. She sent Tommy the link where she was talking about him. See, who did that? Lady Snoop or Tracy? Whichever one did it, they was doing it to be messy. If Snoop did it, she was doing it trying to get back. You say 5? She really must think she is. Even Carver, yeah. I don't know what's wrong with 5'8". It's crazy. It's like, yeah, and not too cute. No. I don't know what's wrong with 5'8". It seemed like it was just a light bulb. Somebody just turned it on, or maybe turned it off. And she just as dark as she can be, just talking about everybody and nasty. Two pieces, all right. Yeah, my little 2 pennies. But yeah, it's crazy. It just seemed like somebody just turned the light off and she just started going backwards. Because if you try to think about, and you try to think like, what happened? What happened to? Just she was likable, lovable to some people. Um, and then it was like just one day, pow, she got mad at James Caldwell, and that was the end of it. What she said? Oh, about yeah, she did tell. She said, "Who was that?" She five. Was it five? No, QB wasn't it? It was about QB. Yeah, she I guess she had to say something. What she told him, oh, you didn't tell Fabe that you was just waiting, or that you was just using her, that you was just waiting until you was waiting until back at you. You was waiting until till you get what the money. He said, QB, did you tell Fine you were leaving after vacation? Yeah. I said, ooh, now girl, you couldn't hold that. You just couldn't hold that. You had to throw something. You had to throw something out. She couldn't do it. She said, did you tell that, QB? Did you tell her? I was like, oh, look, looky at her. She, let's see. Madam Jasmine. Madam Jasmine is talking about Tommy and Tubes getting upset. Yeah, yeah, because he all of a sudden, God, that's why none of this makes sense. He just all of a sudden, it was just him, but him and Fabe this, and QB this, and Tracy D this, and I was like, okay. So, yeah. Trying to see if my battery. Okay, I'm gonna find this thing. Rita and Nicole. Oh, yeah. This thing is not working. What else been going on? Nothing. What went viral? Huh? Trying to see what went viral. Do you read? No, I'm about to do it now. I'm trying to find them. Yeah, what went viral? We'll talk about Tommy in another YouTuber. It says, It wasn't Jay Wilson or Fabe is somebody else you saying. Or not. Okay. Okay, we get started. How the worst time can be the best time. When Scott, our firstborn, was 6 months old, Charles and I made a commitment to serve the Lord. Even though we've fallen short way too often, God has always been faithful to us. He entrusted us with 3 beautiful children, Scott, Lori, and Christy, and blessed us in many ways as we raised them. Now they were grown and caring for their own families, and it was time for us to retire. Hey, E. Harris, how you doing? Okay. All right. See. He entrusted us with 3 beautiful children, Scott, Lori, and Christy, and blessed us in many ways as we raised them. Now they were grown and caring for their own families, and it was time for us to retire, to travel, and do things we enjoy, or so we thought. When I'd been retired only a few months, in mid-September 2004, the mail brought one of those postcards from the gynecologist. Okay. Time for your annual checkup. I was feeling good, finally over a bad sinus infection. So I tossed it in with my bills, thinking I'd get to it soon. Suddenly, that weekend, I started having a lot of uncomfortable bloating in my stomach. I told Charles, this reflux is really acting up. It's so bad, I may need that surgery I've been reading about. So Monday, I retrieved the card and called, requesting an appointment for my annual physical, saying nothing about my symptoms. The receptionist asked, can you be here this Wednesday at 2:30? I couldn't believe I could see the doctor that quickly. Usually it took several weeks. I didn't realize it then, but that was the first indication that God would be with me in the coming ordeal. I was going on my symptoms when Dr. Green interrupted me. Doc, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you have a mass. I don't know what it is, but it's big. I want you to have a blood test today and come back tomorrow for a sonogram. I guess my mind was playing tricks on me, but until then, I hadn't thought about the possibility of cancer. My first reaction was fear, but it was immediately followed with what I can only describe as a picture of a ticker. Uh, oh, what? Okay. It's going to go viral. Oh. Oh, she didn't say anything. Oh, oh yeah, no. Oh. Let's see here. I knew right away it was reassurance from the Holy Spirit. And I told my doctor it's in the Lord's hand. There was no assurance that I would be healed, just a certainty that He would be taking every step I did, no matter what. You, who, me? No, I unmodded her. I unwrenched her already. Okay. There was no assurance that I would be healed, just a certainty that I would be taking every step I did, no matter what they found. On Thursday, September 29th, Scott's 37th birthday, Dr. Green called with the results of the test. Charles had just retired from the clinic, and Dr. Green knew him well. So they talked. Charles, hanging up with fears in his eyes and voice cracking, said, "All indications are that it's ovarian cancer." I was stunned, except for my paternal grandfather, who had a facial cancer back in the early 1940s. No one in my family had cancer, at least not to my knowledge. The only lady I had known to have ovarian cancer died from it at the age of 49. So I thought I had been given a death sentence. How can I describe the thoughts and fears swirling through my mind? I wanted to run so far I would outrun it. I wanted to scream and turn back the clock about 4 days. I was afraid I couldn't handle it, that I would be a wimp. All these thoughts and more flashed through my mind while Charles was telling me what the doctor said. I stood there facing him, trying to listen over the roaring in my ears, and I prayed, "Lord, you know my makeup. On my own, I will be a basket case. Please give me your strength and help me handle this. I want to be strong." Before I could even say amen, warmth flooded through me from the top of my head to the ends of my fingers and toes. It was God's peace and a sense of His love for me, and it stayed with me throughout the ordeal. I've spent most of my life fighting feelings of inferiority and negativism, but contrary to what you may expect, I had a radical change in my thinking. I became a much more positive person. I felt totally accepted and overwhelmed, loved by God, by other people, and even by myself. Yeah, I already did it. I did it when she told me. Okay. Think about going to MD Anderson, Dr. Green suggested. If your insurance doesn't pay for chemotherapy, Anderson will work with you. The doctor who wrote the book on ovarian cancer is there. However, he trained the oncologist at Baylor. But our very supportive daughter, Lori, lives in Plano with her family, and we are only an hour away, so we decided to stick with Baylor. When we called the number my doctor gave us for the appointment, we were told to be there in 2 weeks. My wife is very uncomfortable. Can't you get her in any sooner? Charles asked. Tell her if she's that uncomfortable to go to the emergency room. We are booked solid, but if we get a cancellation, we will call you, was their seemingly uncaring retort. At home, we waited uncomfortably for the oncologist's appointment. One day, we were running errands. When we returned home at 1:15 p.m., there was a message on the answer machine from Baylor. We had a cancellation, and we can work you in if you can be here at 1:30 p.m. today. Of course, we couldn't make it in 15 minutes. That turned out to be another way God was watching out for my best interest, because the very next day we received a call from Texas Oncology, a group of oncology doctors who also have offices at Baylor Hospital. I don't know how they got my name, but the lady said the place where you have an appointment is the free clinic. Do you have insurance that will pay for chemotherapy? I answered, they say they will. Here's the name and number if you would like to call and verify it. Within 30 minutes, she called back and affirmed what my booklet said. They worked me in the next business day, which was a Monday. Somehow, my local doctor had it in his mind that my insurance would not pay for chemo. Right or wrong, it seemed that you get better care if you have insurance. I strongly believe that God had his hand in it, and he was directing me to Dr. Alan Stringer, a wonderfully capable and compassionate Christian oncologist. I wanted to take all the steps I was supposed to and be certain that I had all the T's crossed and I's dotted just right. So I followed the advice in James 5, 13 through 15. Is any one of you sick? He called on the elders of the church to pray over him and anoint him with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer offered in faith will make the sick person well. The Lord would raise him up. I discussed it with my pastor, Reverend Tony Neal, one Wednesday night after the service. Reverend Neal and 3 of his deacons came to my house, anointed me with oil, and laid hands on my head and prayed for me. Which are you talking to me, Miss? You talking to me, B-Town? I can't get it right now. Dang it. Let me see, I lost my. Let me find it. Okay. I wanted to take all the steps I was supposed to and to all the steps I was supposed to and be certain that I had. Oh, I read that. Let me read on down here. Okay. One Wednesday night after the service, Reverend Neal and 3 of his deacons came to my house, anointed me. I'm trying to get this fixed. Oh. Wednesday night after service, Reverend Neal and 3 of his deacons came to my house, anointed me with oil and laid hands on my head and prayed for me. Even though they emphasized that we should pray for God's will more than my physical healing. Well, I believed that, and I knew for certain that God had touched me, and he would indeed work out his will for me, even without these steps. But I was doing everything I knew to do. I didn't want to leave any stone unturned. During the second week after my diagnosis, I started gaining weight rapidly. I gained about 20 pounds from the time of my original diagnosis to the date of my surgery 3 weeks later, as if I had a huge balloon inside. My tummy was also protruding by leaps and bounds. I soon looked like I was about to deliver a baby. When Dr. Stringer examined me on October the 12th, 2004, I could tell a significant difference in the examination from when Dr. Green examined me 2 weeks before. This tumor had spread, and I don't know if we can do surgery now. We may have to start with a couple of chemo treatments to shrink it first. Dr. Stringer told me chemotherapy is effective about 80% of the time, but I will schedule you for a CAT scan tomorrow, and we'll make that determination after we see the results, he added. That night, I went to the ladies' Bible study at church. About 20, 30 women have been meeting regularly for about the last 8 years, and we have grown a lot through our studies. I told the ladies of the events of the day, please pray that the chemotherapy is effective. I requested. The next day, Charles was driving me to Baylor, and about the time we went through Ennis, I told him, I don't know how to explain it, but something is happening to my body. For lack of better way to describe it, it was like tiny, almost not there fluttering, but not really. Perhaps it was more of a sensation, or maybe just a whisper of knowledge, but I was convinced God was doing something. Since my appointment wasn't until 6 p.m., it wasn't until mid-morning the next day, Wednesday, when the doctor called. Good news, Doc. The CAT scan indicates we can indeed proceed with the surgery next week. I will always believe it was the prayer from the ladies of my church that made the difference. Dr. Jonathan my surgeon, set the time for 11:30 a.m. on October the 19th. My family and several dear friends started arriving about 9 a.m. The ladies in our Bible study sent word that at 11:30 they would stop what they were doing, get down on their knees, and pray for my successful surgery. I didn't know all of this until much later, but the surgery lasted 5.5 hours. We removed 4 tumors, and the largest was the size of a soccer ball. We also removed her ovaries, the omentum, and parts of each of the large and small intestines. Dr. O went on to tell them, we know there are 2 tumors that were too small to be removed, and her chest has so many precancerous cells it looks like someone threw a cup of rice at her. We could have gotten it all, but it would have taken 19 hours, and she would not have been able to hold up to it. The surgery was on a Tuesday, and they kept me in the ICU until Friday, explaining there were no rooms available on the ovarian cancer ward. I was sedated most of the time, but I do remember snatches of family coming to see me. One memory that stands out is of Scott waving an angel figurine that had been purchased and kept right above my bed, assuring me that angels were watching over me. Once they admitted me to a private room, I made rapid progress. Dr. O discharged me on a Wednesday, 8 days after the surgery, stating, I'm surprised at how well you are doing. Anytime he made a comment on that order, I would quickly assure him it was because many people were praying for me. I was 35 pounds lighter when I left the hospital than I was before my surgery. Prior to the first treatment, my doctor gave me samples of anti-nausea drug named Emend. The next evening, I got just a bit sick at my stomach. But throughout these 6 months of treatment, I never again experienced nausea, nor did I ever vomit. My problem was weakness, dizziness, and shortness of breath. If I cooked, I had to keep a chair near the stove and counter because I could not stand for any period of time. I was so forgetful, it was embarrassing. When I told Dr. Stringer how weak and dizzy I was after the first treatment, he assured me it was only to be expected. After all, you had a traumatic surgery that you wasn't healed from by any means, followed by the chemo in only 2.5 weeks. So you had a double whammy. Dr. Stringer warned me that I would lose my hair, and just about everyone whom I talked with agreed. Carla, a friend who lived in our community and is a member of our church, had been my beautician for several years. I phoned her. Carla, everyone tells me I'm going to lose my hair. If it happens, I want to come in and let you shave it, but I don't want to do it in front of your mirror where I can see what's happening. I would like for you to do it in your back room. Then I will don one of my I don't think that's right. Then I will don one of my hats and go home to my bathroom where I can scream as loud as I want to. Several days after the first treatment, my head was sore for a few days, but I didn't shed any hair. After all, I reasoned. The Bible says a woman's hair is her glory. And maybe that is another way the good Lord is blessing me. When I returned for my next appointment, I proudly told everyone that I still had my hair, but Dr. Stringer deflated me. Your hair will assuredly fall out. On day 17, after the second chemo, my hair began to shed. For 3 days, it was in something. It was in everything, even my mouth. So I called Carla and told her it was time. She was an angel. You don't need to be out in the cold, wet weather. I will come to your house in the morning before I go to work, she insisted. When she arrived, I was crying. Throughout the diagnosis, the surgery, and the first two chemos, I remained dry-eyed and upbeat. I suppose it's silly to get so hung up about something that's so minor in relationship to everything else. But the thought of losing my hair was devastating. Dot, I can just cut it short. Then if you see the need, I can come back later. We don't have to shave it today, she offered. But her husband, Bubba, was facing major surgery the following week, and I didn't want to bother her to return for the second time, especially when she wouldn't let me pay her. This is a talent the Lord gave me, and I want to do it for you, she insisted. So out came the razor, and down went my hair. That's just an example of how wonderful and kind people were to me during that time. Charles stuck to me like glue and did everything I couldn't. My children was very loving and supportive. When I was diagnosed, wait a minute, what's wrong? My phone? Don't tell my phone about that. You say you lost, you can't hear me? Dang, my battery. I'm trying to get my battery from. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is an example of how wonderful and kind people were to me during that time. Charles stuck to me like glue and did everything I couldn't. My children was very loving. Oh, okay. Charles stuck to me like glue and did everything I couldn't. My children was very loving and supportive. When I was diagnosed, I told a few friends, and before long, I found out what is wrong with my. Sorry. I don't know why my phone is not charging. I don't know what's wrong with my phone. Okay. My church even gave me a hat shower. Leah, one of my best friends, called me every day for 6 months, even when she was out of town. I also met few of the ladies from the support group at Baylor, who will never know what an inspiration they've been to me. But I absolutely hated looking at myself in the mirror. I was always careful to have my head covered with a hat or a wig. I had two. After a few months, I started wearing a baseball cap around the house. Finally, I loosened up enough to go bald when only Charles and I was there. One day, as I sat down to eat lunch, I asked him, Charles, does it bother you or put you off for me to come to the table with my head bare? I was so touched by his response, not at all. When I see your head, it reminds me of how good God has been to us. While I was having my sixth chemo treatment, Dr. Stringer's nurse handed me a card with the dates and times of my next appointment. You will have a CAT scan, then a week later, an appointment with Dr. Stringer. But he said it is not necessary to schedule any further chemotherapy. The feeling of relief mixed with gratitude was simply overwhelming. At home, I resolved to get back to my routine as quickly as possible, walking just a bit more each day, resuming household chores, thanking God for each new day when I awoke. I testified to God's goodness and mercy at every opportunity. But the closer I got to the 90-day checkup, the more anxious I became. The fear of it returning is said to be worse on cancer patients than the treatment. And I found out what that meant. What if it comes back? What if it comes back? Was a constant refrain that would not turn me loose. I prayed and asked God for help, and He never failed to calm me. But it wouldn't be long until I once again was on the brink of a panic attack. I was grumpy, lashing out at my husband and others when they didn't deserve it. And I was eating everything in sight. Finally, I got desperate and prayed, Lord, you know my heart, and you know I do trust you. You have proven yourself to me over and over, and I don't know why I am so anxious about this. Please take this fear away from me once and for all. You know I don't want to live like this. That night, a lady about my age knocked on our door. She introduced herself as a friend of my neighbor and inquired, what kind of cancer was it? When I said ovarian, she nonchalant replied, oh, I had that in 1989. The doctors kept close tabs on me for a while, but then my checkups got further apart until finally they said to resume my regular annual checkups. I've been fine ever since. Well, she was attractive and looked quite healthy, so I took that to be the answer to my prayer. I was finally able to settle down. Sure enough, when I had all the tests in June, the doctor came in with a big smile and the welcoming words, all is well. We don't detect any signs of cancer. As this writing, it's been nearly 2.5 years since my surgery and 2 years since my last chemo treatment. And so far, that's the same report I get every time. Our younger daughter, Christy, was 33 when she found out she was expecting her first baby. We already had 4 precious grandchildren, but I had no assurance that I would live to see the baby of our baby, who was due in March 2005. One day while I was reading, these words jumped out at me. May you live to see your children's children. Psalms 128 and 6th verse. I claimed that verse, and the day I had my 5th chemo treatment that lasted for 5 hours, Christy had her baby. We left Baylor Hospital in Dallas at 6 p.m. and had been in the hospital room in Round Rock about 10 minutes when they brought Tyler to his mother for the first time. As of this writing, we have just returned from going to his 2nd birthday party. Every time I look into Tyler's beautiful eyes, I think about God's love and his wonderful promise to me. My husband said, I have a glow about me, like I've faced the giant and won. That I have, although I don't think for 1 minute that I should get credit for any of it. Actually, it is more of an awe over what God has done for me through all of this. It was the Lord, pure and simple, that gave me peace and strength and his healing touch. Yes, I had faith, but the Bible tells us that even our faith is a gift from God. So the fact that I can sit here and write this cancer-free is only because of his love and grace. So you see, this story is not really about me. It is mind-boggling to me that the God who rules the universe and has billions of people to care for knew all my troubles and cared enough to answer my prayer before I even said amen. I've asked him why he blessed me so and what I'm supposed to do about it now. One day when I was reading the Bible, these words from Psalms 118 jumped out at me. You will live and not die, and will proclaim what the Lord has done. Whether I live 1 more year or 30, that is what I am attempting to do. I have no real assurance that there won't be a recurrence, although several people told me they prayed that I would be healed and that it would never return again. If it should, I'm aware that the outcome could be entirely different. There's only one thing I am certain of. I have the strength and peace that only he can give. I can handle anything that happens to this old body. I believe he has used me through this to be an instrument to show others his love and power and to offer hope and encouragement no matter what your circumstances are. There are different kinds of healing, and it's not always physical. But for everyone whose heart is right with God and turns to him for help, his words promises that He will be our refuge and strength and an ever present help in times of trouble. That's Psalms 46 and first verse. I thank Him every day for His presence and for the way He understands me, relieves all my anxieties, and provides just what I need for every situation. This is Philippians 4th chapter 6 through 7. The paradox is that while I hope and pray with all of my heart, it never returns. In many ways, my experience during dark days is the best thing that ever happened to me. My prayer is that everyone will experience the reality of our awesome God in her own life. And that was Doc Reynolds. That was her story. All right. See, time is 9:38. See. Oh, you, your message. She probably was listening to something they said. Hmm. You know it. Yep. Oh my goodness. Anything going on? Another thing is, oh, I don't know why my battery wasn't charging. Probably because I was on it. Yeah, yeah. And that's because I'm not gonna keep explaining nothing. I don't have to. I don't need to. So they can do whatever they want to. It don't matter to me. Mm-mm-mm. Hold this. I'm gonna leave my battery was not charging. Well, hello, Miss Oliver. How you doing? Glad to see you. Thank you for coming by. Yeah. Let's see. Who else was on? Oh, what she getting kicked us for? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Glad to see you. How's your day? Well, your night. I guess it's going on 10 o'clock my time, so. Yeah, how's your night? What did Miss Pizarro get kicked out for? Got kicked out of Corny's chat? Child, I ain't no telling. I don't know. Oh my goodness. I guess you don't like it when I lean. That's what's wrong with mine. Mine is low, and I guess as long as I'm on it, it's gonna stay low. She put her out. Ooh, oh my goodness. You know Miss Pizarro, it probably ain't no telling. She might have been in somebody else's chat saying something, doing something. Five Big's gonna be on in what time? What time y'all got? It's 9:40. Yeah, in like 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they probably think they got. They probably think they sitting laughing, running, telling folks what they want to tell them. Mm-mm. It really don't matter. Yeah. I know it's on the charger, so yeah, I better get off of it and let it charge so I can, I wonder if James gonna be on. I sure can't, my battery sure can't be dead if he come on. So yeah, yeah, did y'all go look at the sincerely Nadia? Look at her website on the soap. Yeah, yeah, definitely go look. Okay, he's saying my battery is low. Okay, I know my battery is low. Okay. Okay, I guess I'll go charging my battery for like 15 minutes so I can check out and see what's going on. But I'll see y'all. Let me get off of here before my battery die. All right, y'all. Appreciate you coming. I'm out of here.